Las Vegas. Fox 5 News starts now.
The man accused of shooting and killing 2 people on the Las Vegas Strip will stay behind bars for now. Today, a judge ordered Manuel Ruiz held without bail.
Ruiz had his first appearance in court since turning himself in to Henderson police on Monday. We have also learned the names of the 2 victims, Rodney Finley and his wife Tanisha. They were killed by the Bellagio fountain on Sunday. And Fox 5's Victoria Saha has learned more about what he told police after he surrendered. Victoria.
Ruiz claims it was all done in self-defense. That's according to this arrest report. But police say the video circulating on social media shows a different story, and it played a big role in his arrest. But we're also learning both Ruiz and Rodney were 2 YouTubers who were live streaming at the same time when the shooting happened.
We were arrested for 2 counts of open murder and use of a deadly weapon.
Manuel Ruiz faced a judge Tuesday with not much to say. A big difference compared to what this viral live stream allegedly shows. This video taken by victim Rodney Finley and his wife Tanisha. Rodney is known as Finny the Legend on YouTube, and Ruiz is known as Sin City Manny. According to the arrest report, both Rodney and Ruiz were live streaming from Las Vegas Boulevard Sunday night. A viewer watching the live stream said he saw comments from others who were also watching Manny's YouTube live stream. The comments stated that Manny was across the street at the Paris Hotel and was looking for Finny. About 5 minutes later, the viewer sees Manny appear on Finny's live stream and saw Manny pull a gun from his waistband. He tells investigators he shot Rodney in self-defense. Moments later, you see Tanisha panicking and grabbing the camera her husband had set up, and then the gun is turned on Tanisha. Ruiz tells police he saw a shiny black object in her hand, which he believed to be a firearm. He said he shot 2 times at her. Police say Ruiz ran away to the Paris Hotel where he removed his hat and shirt. Later, it was Ruiz's wife who approached police, telling them she believed her husband just shot someone. Ruiz was arrested nearly 12 hours later when he walked into a Henderson police station after a friend convinced him to turn himself in. In the arrest report, Ruiz claims Finny posted content talking negatively about his wife and kids. Police say Ruiz was adamant he shot in self-defense. He insisted he did not know Finny and his girl were live streaming from that location. He shot in self-defense. He insisted he did not know Finny and his girl were live streaming from that location. Self-defense. He insisted he did not know Finny and his girl were live streaming from that location. He denied ever making any threats toward Finny. And we're also learning Rodney and Ruiz had an altercation on Fremont Street recently, but the report doesn't exactly say when that was. Ruiz is back in court Thursday.
Now,
here's the jury makeup. This process started about 12 weeks ago for many of these jurors. It was a split right in the middle at first, 9 men, 9 women, 18 in the box.
Now it's time to get in with the people, in the middle of the people. That's where we find, there he is, lead anchor, Vinny Politan. All right, Vinny, we've covered a lot of trials. This is different. There were people outside courthouses before, like a Scott Peterson, but they were there for the lynching. This has people on both sides, and it is unique. Give us your perspective of it and set the scene from your perspective.
All right, Ted. Great to see you, Ted. Sunny day here. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. I don't know if the weather is adding to it, but there are so many people here. It is a literal sea of pink. I don't see people for the other side. This is one-sided. You and I were there for the Scott Peterson trial, Ted, and I remember how many people were there, and I was like, oh, my goodness. It pales into comparison to what we see here today, the number of people that have come here. I'm going to walk you through the crowd, Ted, so get ready. Just be careful. Watch your step here with the camera. We're going to go down nice and slow. We're not going to go fast. But as we walk through the crowd, first let me show you down this way, because it starts on this side down here, okay? They're here all day. Everyone here, I believe, is expecting a quick verdict. They think it's happening today. Now, I don't know if it's happening today. They don't know if it's happening today. I don't even know if the jury knows if it's happening today, because we don't know what's happening in that room, but it can happen at any moment. But as you walk through here, the one sense you get is that they expect not guilty. They absolutely are locked in on not guilty. And you wonder what will the reaction be, right? What is the reaction if it is not guilty? What would the reaction be if it is guilty? That's what I want to find out. So let's talk to some of the folks. Can I talk to some of the folks, Ted? You want to hear from the folks?
Please, that's what I would, yes, absolutely.
Ted wants to hear from the folks. Okay, here we go. The pink ladies, let me ask you. If it's not guilty, what happens here in the streets of Dedham?
We're not going to be happy.
If it's not guilty?
We come back and do it again.
No, if she's not guilty. Oh, if it's not guilty?
Okay, Ted, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, Ted. Can we do another take on that, Ted?
Yes,
Okay.
take two.
Wait, I'll walk up again. Let's walk up again. Take two. Okay, so what do you think the reaction is going to be here in the streets of Dedham if the jury comes back not guilty?
Are you kidding me? It's going to be party in the streets. Yes.
But you can't. Shh, but you can't scream now, right? We still have to be.
Oh, please. If Karen comes back and it comes back not guilty, this place is going to be joy. It's going to be wild. It's going to be tears. It's going to be happiness, relief, the pressure that we've all felt, and the anxiety and the frustration and the corruption and everything that we've been feeling for all this time is going to be worth it in the end if we finally are able to see Karen get the justice that she deserves.
Now, Ted, I don't know if you can notice, but the lipstick actually matches the shirt.
That's right. This is not my first rodeo.
All right, not first rodeo. Let me ask you a question. Who wants to speak here?
I will.
You'll speak. I want to ask you on the other side, if this jury comes back and says guilty, what do you think happens here in the streets of Dedham?
Sad, very sad. Very sad time because we all know she's not guilty. He wasn't hit by a car. John O'Keefe was not hit by a car. It's very simple. But if they do come back guilty, we'll all be very saddened, and there'll be a lot of, I don't know, what else can I say?
No, that's interesting. I just want the truth. That's all we want is the truth, right?
Yeah,
all right.
we want the truth. And it's too bad that they don't find the truth and actually go after the people that actually did kill John O'Keefe. Because now you've got an innocent woman being framed, and people that did it are getting away with murder. And that's just not right.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. We're going to walk further down here. You see some of the stars and stripes, Ted. You can see those as well. This is... Ted, I'm going to show you the VIP section. You ready, Ted?
Yes.
These folks, you got to get here early
They got
to
shade.
get the lawn chairs.
Yeah.
6 a.m. 6 a.m. they got here to get the spot under the tree. You got the shade. You're ready. I just haven't seen any of the waiters or waitresses coming by yet to serve them lunch, but
I have
sure
a
that's
feeling
just
they
around the
brought
corner.
their own in
Let me
those
ask
tumblers, but...
Yeah, they brought some of their own refreshments. That is true, Ted. Here's crackers right here. Okay. She does not want to be on camera, but this guy does. Ted.
Oh, I've seen that dude.
You ready, Ted, for the best dressed man? Best dressed man right here. There's my man. How's it going?
Going good.
Let me ask you, how long did it take you to decide what you were going to wear for the verdict watch today?
I just open up the closet and just pick what I feel. Yeah.
All right. Will you come every day? Because, the verdict may not be today. It could be in any minute, any moment, but it may not be today. Will you be here tomorrow?
I'll be here as long as it takes.
As long as it takes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, I'm so jealous, Ted. I'm so jealous that he's got that outfit and I don't have that outfit. Are you guys going to come every day?
Yeah, I would like to. As long as it takes.
As long as it takes?
Yeah. As long as it takes.
Are you using vacation days today, or?
I don't think
I'm
it's
off today.
Business, but.
Okay. No, I'm just wondering.
I don't know.
No, I'm just wondering because it takes time to be here. Right.
Yeah, shin days.
Right.
Any
Like,
kind of day.
to me, that demonstrates.
Just quit your jobs.
Yeah, well, to me, it demonstrates the level of belief, right, and concern that you have that you would take your own personal time to come here. I mean, that's making a statement.
Yeah.
I believe. Okay. But you'll be here every day.
Be here every day.
We'll take attendance. Make sure you're here.
Right.
All right. So, Ted, the other thing that is really interesting everyone's got a camera, right? Which is awesome. Can I speak with you?
Sure.
Let me ask you, why do you think so many show up? Like so many. I've never seen this. The closest we would get to this, Ted, is this probably close to Michael Jackson, maybe?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, that was the world's most famous celebrity. This is Karen Reed. Nobody knew her before this. Right. Why so many people?
I think people are just convicted in what they believe. Whether you feel for the family, which I do, but I don't believe she did it. And people are strong about that. They don't want it to happen to me or you or anybody just because someone's covering up for something, which could be or may not be, I don't know. But
the jury will tell us, right?
I guess so.
Well, hopefully the jury will tell us. Ted, the other thing, I've spoken to folks earlier today, and there are people coming in from different states. There was a family on vacation from Nebraska, made sure to make this one of their stops coming through. So the interest, yes, is extremely high locally, but I think second time around what is different is how it has spread nationally. And that interest now has brought some folks to Dedham, which is it's a nice town, it's historic and everything, but it's not necessarily a vacation destination town.
It's not on your tourist list of things to do.
No,
you
might go to Cape Cod, you might go to the city, but like to Dedham. But this is where the story is. This is where the action is. And this is where, again, it's everyone's wearing pink just about. Should I find some? Yeah. Now, is that actually pink or is that?
This is hot pink.
That's salmon.
No, this is fuchsia.
That is salmon.
This is fuchsia.
Okay. Fuchsia.
You're awesome. You're doing great.
Thank you. What are your expectations about when you believe this moment will happen?
I believe by the end of the day they'll have a verdict and then they'll come back in the morning with it.
They're going to sleep on it.
I believe so. I'm praying it's today, but who knows?
Okay.
We're just hopeful for a not guilty, not guilty, not guilty for Karen.
Not guilty.
All right, you just got a fourth not guilty over there. Ted, and like I said, Ted, most of the people I've spoken to expect it to happen today. They really feel that strongly about the case, and I think a lot of them were very impressed with Alan Jackson's closing argument. Obviously, we've been watching him for years, Ted, and you watched him out in L.A. Many years before this, so I think that had a lot of impact on the opinions of people here because of the strength of Alan Jackson's closing argument. But I'm trying to remind
he delivered a
that
doozy. I mean, that close was as tight as you could get with the emotion in the right spots, the length. But Hank Brennan came back too. There doesn't seem to be, Vinny, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody thinking that this is going to be a hung jury, which to me, if I'm going to lay down some money, that's where I'm going.
Right, and what I try to remind people is that as much as they see the evidence as being so clean cut, let's turn around. You see what's happening here. Someone came down the street honking their horn, and now they get approached by police because this is you notice how quiet everyone is, Ted? Like you've got hundreds and hundreds of people here that are remaining quiet. A car comes through, honking the horn. Police immediately emerge on them because not everyone understands what the buffer zone is and what it isn't. Usually you see a demonstration, you show your support, you honk the horn. Not here in Dedham, you can't do that. They don't want anything to influence the jury, which is in this old historic courthouse with very thin walls where they
Is there
hear
any
everything.
way, Vinny, that this jury doesn't know what's happening outside the courthouse?
I would say no. I would say if you live in the area how could you not know about the story, about the case? I think the jurors they got, may not have been in as deep as the folks here and many of the folks online, but you may have heard of it. But the thing that's interesting, Ted, is that we're looking at it now at the end of trial 2, which to me was so much bigger than trial number 1, that there may be many more people that before this trial began, may have been in a place where they weren't as familiar. So I think that plays into it because you pick the jury before the trial starts. And now that we've gone through number 2, with it being so much bigger than number 1. I would say if you had to do number 3, it's going to be very difficult to find those 12 at that point because of the way this has spread. But if you look around, take a look down the street. It goes even further down. I was up here in the beginning of the trial, and none of these people were here, Ted. These are all Johnny-come-latelys. I was here when this trial started back in, or not when it started, like 2 weeks in May. I came out, yeah, there were a dozen people over here, there were 6 people over here. But once it's time for the verdict and deliberations, it's obvious that everyone's going to use their time to show their support. I think the support early on was hampered by the weather, was hampered by the rulings in the buffer zone, completely changed the dynamic. But since it's been relaxed a little bit, the dynamic has come back. And the best part is, like I was saying, Ted, you have hundreds and hundreds of people here who are abiding by the rules, which is you're not chanting, you're not screaming, you're not yelling. And it's not easy to do. You get in a crowd, you get excited, you want to, make your point, but everyone understands the gravity of it. And I think that's where we are.
In the box here in case evidence over 8 weeks. That included 49 witnesses. Well, today, back in that jury room, is 7 women and 5 men. The 4-person chosen by the court. We saw that last year. That person sits in seat number 1. They have the option to deliberate until about 5 o'clock today. They chose not to deliberate past closing hours of the courthouse on Friday, so they ended their deliberations at about 1 hour and 47 minutes on Friday. Today, we expect the first full day of deliberations, Julie.
Big day, Matt. Could be verdict day, as you know. Let's rewind the clock a little bit to the all-important closing arguments, if we can. You were in the courtroom, Matt, watching those for us. Take us back there. Tell us what were the big standout moments and what the jury heard last before starting their deliberations, please.
Yeah, you're exactly right. These are the moments that are not case evidence, but it really is the timeline that both attorneys on each side wants this jury to consider as they look at the evidence up close and personal in that jury room in this courthouse here behind me. So you had Hank Brennan and Alan Jackson facing off. The defense arguing reasonable doubt. They were doing a Daubert defense, faulty police investigation. The Commonwealth was doubling down on Reed's admissions and TV interviews since the first trial. Let's listen to both.
There was no collision. There was no collision. There was no collision. You folks are the last line of defense. The last line of defense between an innocent woman and a system that has tried to break her, that falsely accused her, that tried mightily to bury the truth. This case was corrupted from the start. It was corrupted by biases and conflicts and personal loyalties that you heard about. And most fatally, it was corrupted by a lead investigator whose misconduct infected every single part of this case from the top to the bottom.
She made a decision about herself. In her Lexus, she drove away. She was drunk, she hit him, and she left him to die.
So I was in the courtroom as I was during the first closing arguments last year, during the first trial, right, Julie? So I have a good vantage point of this jury. They were informed by the court that, again, it's not case evidence, so they had to put their notebooks down. There were some jurors that had taken so many notes, they had 3, maybe 4 notebooks stacked up, and they had to put them under their seat. And just watching all of these jurors, just paying such close attention to both attorneys. And then it was also a different dynamic. They both went over their allotted time of 1 hour and 15 minutes, but they weren't cut off like they were last year. Remember, Adam Lally ran out of time. It was a first that I had never seen before with a prosecutor doing so. But at the end of the day, these jurors are just so thoughtful. They are taking this so seriously. We have not lost one during this retrial. It's quite something, Julie.
It really is, Matt. If you don't mind, a follow-up question, please. Being in there, I know you were watching the jurors closely. Did anyone exhibit any kind of overt reaction that would indicate maybe agreement, maybe nodding perhaps or something like that with either side?
You know, I have to say I haven't noticed much of that. Remember, it was a couple weeks ago where the judge told this jury that they can't show any opinion, that they can't whisper under their breath, that they shouldn't be talking to each other or glancing at each other. So that happened a couple weeks ago. So this jury has been very on their mark, showing to this judge that they're taking it seriously.
Following the rules and the instructions, that is a good thing, as you know, Matt. So outside where you are, looks like you're across the street from the courthouse. Would you describe kind of what you're seeing, anything noteworthy this morning?
Yeah, you know, it's been a growing number of supporters and just onlookers, people that are curious in this small town of Dedham. We're in Dedham Square. I'm over at the Registry of Deeds. It looks like a courthouse itself. It's the busiest roadway in America, some can describe it, because there's constantly, you know, buses going by and police vehicles and fire. But you see all of these supporters down here and just everyday onlookers. Remember, we're in summer break. And then across the street, you see part of the gaggle of media from across the country that are here covering the case like we have since the beginning. Outside the courthouse, we're also seeing people line up around the block, showing their support or just, again, out here just watching this happen. And then, of course, we're not seeing them cheer when they see Karen Read, this defendant. Many are supporting in silence right now. Let's show you a bit of Friday when she was walking from or to her car. Are you going to be
verdict watch? What do you like to do?
Not much you can do but try to occupy your mind.
How do you feel that it's almost over?
Ready.
Anything to say to your supporters?
Thank you. I love that.
Reed also telling the media outside that she has butterflies right now, but she believes in this jury. She helped select them personally. And, you know, when we're talking about the first trial and this retrial, a lot of people ask me all the time, you know, how long do you think that the jury will be out? Of course, you never know, right, Julie? But if you want a comparison, last year the jury worked 2 half days, but over a span of 5 days before it was declared mistrial, before they could not reach a unanimous resolution.
Finney, the legend, and the accused. After months of an online feud between YouTubers Finney, the legend, and the accused shooter Manuel Ruiz, Fox 5's Molly McBride joins us in the studio with a new look into what could have led up to last night's shooting. Molly.
Well, through one of Finney's friends, we're learning more about what could have led up to this shooting and what Finney and his wife Bubbly meant to the Vegas, Arizona YouTube community. A son, a father.
He's a good father. He takes care of his kids.
And a grandfather. Derek Ware tells me the Arizona-based YouTuber, Finney the Legend, was just a big, friendly guy.
If something was wrong, he would just always check up on me.
He was a husband, too. Ware says Finney's wife, who went by Bubbly, lived up to her name, lighting up each room she entered.
She would have fun everywhere she went. People wanted to be around her.
He says he actually met Finney through the accused shooter Manuel Ruiz's YouTube page, offering insight on the feud between the two YouTubers.
This was brewing. This brewed for 2 years.
Ware says it all started back in 2023 when Ruiz pepper sprayed Bubbly on Fremont Street.
I was saying, I'm just glad it was pepper spray and it wasn't bullets.
A grim foreshadowing of what was to come.
I said, I don't want to see you here in pain with bullets in you. So let's figure this out.
Ware says Finney chose to never get physical.
His wife said she was okay, so he was just like, okay, let's handle this another way.
Instead, he fought back online.
He controls his emotions very well. That's what I liked about him the most.
Ware says Finney held a weekly live stream where people could speak freely about anything, including their grievances with Ruiz.
Manny was welcome to come on and defend himself. He kept it fair. It wasn't just a bash. It wasn't just let's talk about Manny, talk bad about Manny. It's just everybody's experience.
Ware says as Ruiz lost followers, Finney's online popularity grew, dethroning Ruiz from his position as king of the tight-knit Vegas, Arizona YouTube community. But Ware tells me he never thought Ruiz would escalate to this level of violence.
That's just sickening. He's sick. That's just, what do you get out of that? I don't get that. You just ruined 2 families.
Or that a jealousy-fueled feud would take away his 2 friends forever. Now, Ware says if he wasn't resting for an upcoming surgery, he could have been with Finney on the Strip Sunday night. His one message to our community: Finney and Bubbly were so much more than YouTubers. They leave behind a heartbroken family.
All right, Molly, thanks, and stay with Fox 5 as we continue to follow this developing story both on air and online at fox5vegas.com.
Today's first topic.
Thanks, Donut.
Are you kidding me?
So from what I understand, this guy's a live streamer, and the other guy's also a streamer, the one who's about to blast.
Pop, pop, pop! Ah! Are you kidding me?
She grabs the camera.
And does what? Film?
No, she also gets murked. Yeah, both of them passed.
What the fuck is going on?
This happened on the Strip in Las Vegas near the Bellagio, so a lot of people actually heard it. They were all posting about it, what had happened. Turns out it was two streamers. Sunday's murder of a husband and wife stems from an online beef between the two YouTube streamers, arguing over, among other things, copyright infringement. So,
is that it?
Finney the Legend, that's the guy who got shot, one of two shooting victims, and fellow streamer Sin City Manny, that's the guy who was the shooter, had argued for several months. The video appears to show the two trolled each other, disagreed, and had lengthy conversations over the course of hours on a myriad of streams and sometimes different social media handles. Sin City Manny, whose real name is Manuel Ruiz, will appear in Las Vegas court Tuesday morning. He faces 2 charges of open murder. Yeah, he has been arrested. I know he was on the run, but they did find the guy.
But I went through every fucking casino there is. I heard there's one of my biggest fans here in town. I was dying to see him.
This is hours before the shooting.
He's going away for life, as he should.
I mean, any streamer who kills somebody's going away for life.
As he should.
Because these motherfuckers stream their own setup for the whole murder.
But that's like premeditated.
Premeditated.
Premeditated. Yeah. We're doing Fuel Bar tonight. I'm fucking there, homie. What's the Fuel Bar without the fuel?
Someone said, is that dude chewing his water? And then someone else said, I think he's coked up. Which, for Vegas, makes perfect sense. Listen, killing anybody over YouTube stuff is really stupid.
Yeah.
Let's just get it right off the top. These people take themselves way too seriously online. It's my copyright. It's like, okay. And then they talk to their viewers about how angry they are and how much they want to go harm this person. It's like, not only are you guys so fucking fragile, but at the same time, you're really the dumbest fucking criminals because you're announcing to the world, hey, I'm thinking about hurting this person. Premeditated, okay. Congratulations. So there's a history of Manny, the guy in this video, copyright striking his stuff. And as retaliation, the guy who got shot said that he had footage of Manny cheating. So that's just some of the back and forth between these two people. Ain't it funny? You try to protect your work by doing copyright infringement.
And then you're not working no more for the rest of your life.
I tell you, man, criminals are really fucking stupid. They will lose 1,000% more with their crime. Think about how dumb this guy is. He walks by, he sees the camera set up, meaning this is recorded, and it's being probably streamed because you know the other guy's a streamer. That's how he found him. He walks into the frame where the shooting happens, and all this, it's obviously not to protect its work. It's because the dude has a fragile ego, can't handle it, and then does the most dumb thing possible. But
yeah, but that was gangster. And the footage that they said that they had about him is never going to come out. So he's winning. He stays gangster.
Can't copyright claim me if you did.
And we know who's the real G.
And he killed the wife. That means the one who grabbed the camera shortly afterwards, after he kept blasting him, he turned the camera on her because you see the camera shake and fall. I think you just start shooting her right afterwards. So y'all killing each other over 5,000 sub channels?
No.
So you made a video about this guy a year ago.
What up, YouTube? Happy Tuesday. My fault. My day's all jacked up. But quick video. Woke up this morning. Shout out Sin City family. They got our last 2 videos taken down. It don't matter. We're gonna keep doing it. But this time I'm gonna ask y'all, can y'all subscribe to the new channel? Sin City Finney on YouTube. I'm a part of the family now. I'm the Black Stepchild. Manny accepted me in. Manny got the other videos taken down. I didn't do it.
The dumbest beef I've ever seen.
Sin City Manny West has 14,000 followers. God damn.
Just to give you guys context, like when you're in that range, you're looking at making 1,000 to 2,000 a month. You know, depending on how much you post and how your monetization works, you're not looking at much. These guys killing each other over peanuts. I mean, there's no number that's worth killing. Like, it could be millions, and I'm still not shooting nobody.
No, but I would understand if it was million. I'm not. It's not saying that. Oh yeah, there's a number that you know we get it. It's just that if you're battling over not even 1,000, it's not gonna affect you. You're gonna keep on doing your thing. You killed someone over 1,000. It's like if I stab someone over $20.
Yep.
You shouldn't stab someone over, but $20. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna make it worse. 100%. It's not like there's a lot at stake. You just decided to unalive someone for what? For nothing. For literally nothing. No, it is a difference. You have a sentiment of nobody knowing you at 2 million followers. At 5,000, literally nobody knows you.
The thing is, you just have more to lose with more. That's why I'm saying, like, I actually think the poor version there's nothing to lose.
Yes.
Like, think about it, right? Let's say you have this beef, all right? Think about this.
Right?
They ruin your YouTube channel where you can't make more money. You're still walking away with millions. Why would you give that up to go fight somebody?
I understand, but you are always big on the potential of things happening, right? Well, having that channel, we don't know. You're also throwing the fact that you can potentially make so much more. So you don't have a lot to lose now, but maybe eventually with a lot of work, that channel would have potentially blew up to be millions. And you're throwing that shit away.
I would just say, like, you already have so much. You probably have your own place, probably have a bunch of money just from all the stuff that you've made. It's just like you going to jail throwing millions away because you didn't get to make more millions.
Yeah.
To me, that sounds much more fucking stupid than two poor people who got nothing killing each other.
Fair.
But I get what you're saying.
But it's just dumb.
It's like you took 20 from me. How about we say this? It's all fucking stupid. But me personally, if somebody took my YouTube channel, would I be bothered? Absolutely. Would I be thinking of revenge? Not in my new condo. Just not saying. I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I can go on vacation a couple times this year. I don't know about y'all. I'm riding to the sunset, going to Turkey, getting my teeth redone so I can look stupid, and then that's it. Poor niggas fighting each other, I can understand. Rich niggas don't really fight each other.
My lip busted. Fuck.
It's like rappers.
Rappers in the club?
Right. Aren't rappers exponentially more fucking stupid?
Yes.
Than the people who are on the block killing each other over a street corner? They're all fucking dumb. We agree.
Yes.
But it's like, nigga, you made it out and you going to lose everything.
We agree.
Okay.
We agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I've seen a lot of people kill themselves or kill each other over social media posts. You know, the online world, I guess, for some people is more real than real life. And so they're willing to do things in this world for the digital plane. It's very hard to not get incredibly emotionally invested if you don't have a life. And I think what I just kind of come to grasp is that for a lot of these people, that they're so consumed with this online world and the emotions and the dopamine they get from the likes and the interaction that this is everything. Like, people ask me, like, how come you don't get bothered by YouTube comments when people are hating or people reviewing your stuff and hating? And it's just like, because I go outside often.
You touch grass.
I go do hobbies and activities in real life and nobody cares. Not a damn fucking soul. Nobody cares.
What do you mean? You mean that this online thing is not a reality?
Literally, when I go out, 95, like when I go to most events, almost nobody knows who I am. One.
Yeah.
Nobody, and the people who do, they don't care enough to be like, oh, I'm up to date with the latest. Truly, you guys are throwing your lives away over people who won't remember you for more than a minute. You won your stupid prize. This was senseless. It was probably one of the dumbest crimes I've seen. This is the dumbest one this year for sure.
I feel dumber right now just watching this.
Okay, actually, this is a separate conversation. What do you think? I saw someone bring this up. You know, they talk about men's egos being very fragile.
Yeah, it is. I believe it is.
And I will say, I don't know if I necessarily agree that that's true, but I will say, I think people's egos in general are fragile.
Yes.
I just think that men, when their egos are hurt, they turn to violence.
Yeah, often.
You know, women will do the whole rumors thing. They'll talk shit. They'll do all that stuff. Men, they get the strap. Or they go and beat up that person. What did you say? And they go to that. Now, some people might think that's better, but when you live in a country with so many guns, I don't think it is.
It's not even so much that, men's ego fragile. Everybody's, like you said, everybody's ego is fragile. It's just that we're more efficient at violence. And that's not necessarily a good thing.
I don't even know if it's efficiency.
No, but
because I don't think these women even go up to like fight each other.
What I mean by efficiency is just that it's brutal. It's brutal. You go sometimes the beat up of someone is going to be more brutal and it's going to be because people are gonna get hurt. It's just. That's what I mean by efficiency, but it's not efficiency. It's just we go to violence. Which is the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. When you say efficiency, it just sounds like men are better at violence, which I agree. But my point is that
we're better at violence than women.
I agree, sure. but the point isn't that like women are not as good as it. Like they're only slapping each other. In my experience, when women have these kind of ego-related stuff, most of the time it doesn't turn to violence. It turns to like a lot of shit talking, a lot of like rumors, and a lot of like, oh, I'm saying these horrible lies about you. That's very common. We see it online all the time. When two female creators are beefing, it's just like, and they start going at each other. Now, I'm not saying either of these things are good, but if you think about it, in a country with guns, which one would you rather have at your doorstep? You know, like these dudes really showing up to each other's live streams with like straps.
I'd rather someone say that, oh, Preach has a poo-poo head.
Or he's gay.
Well, that's,
You do gay shit with your wife. But with that in mind, I don't think, I do think men turn to violence too often.
Yeah.
They think violence is just a solution to most of the stuff.
We spoke about that.
We have?
Yeah.
I think this is evidence of that.
100%. I think you're right.
And the funny part about it is, it's true because even if you take this whole sequence of events to its like logical endpoint, it doesn't make any sense. So he was copyright infringing on your work, therefore you're upset and you want to protect your work and your brand. So you go on camera, you murder him so everyone knows you're a murderer, which ruins your brand and your work. And now you're in jail for the rest of your life. Can't make a dime. Explain to me. Here. Where we get from, I'm upset about him hurting my job and my work, so now I'm in prison, workless, and I'm gonna be there forever so I can never have a job. How did you get to these two things? Make a line and think that shit makes sense.
An online feud between two YouTubers turned deadly. Las Vegas police announcing the arrest of Manuel Ruiz, accusing him of killing his online rival and the man's wife. A live stream capturing the moment when gunshots rang out, sending tourists scrambling on the strip. Police releasing new details as questions swirl about what led up to the violence. I'm Kennedy Walker, and I'll walk you through the details. You're watching Law and Crime. Footage circulating online appears to show YouTuber Rodney Finley, known to followers as Finny the Legend, spending his final moments with his wife before both were gunned down in Las Vegas Sunday night.
The officers immediately ran towards that gunfire, and they found two victims who were laying on the sidewalk, suffering from apparent gunshot wounds.
The shooting, happening live on a stream, unfolded on the Las Vegas Strip near the Bellagio Hotel. Police identifying the victims as Rodney Finley and his wife, Tanisha Finley.
Our officers rendered medical aid to both victims, but their efforts to save those victims' lives were unsuccessful.
Undersheriff Andrew Walsh confirming the pair knew the suspect. Police later identifying him as Manuel Ruiz.
The suspect and the victim had previously engaged in some type of conflict using a variety of social media platforms.
Finley and Ruiz reportedly had an ongoing virtual brawl, trading verbal jabs, hosting heated live streams, and calling each other out across platforms. Both men building followings on YouTube, fueling an online rivalry that reportedly stemmed from a copyright issue and other personal tensions. Ruiz, known online as Sin City Manny, posting this video widely believed to be aimed at Finley.
Went through every casino there is. I heard there's one of my biggest fans here in town. I was dying to see him.
After the shooting, Ruiz allegedly left the scene, ditching his shirt, hat, and the gun before hopping into a rideshare, according to an arrest report obtained by KLAS. Investigators say he later surrendered to police, claiming self-defense. Ruiz reportedly told investigators he believed the Finleys were going to shoot him, saying Tanisha Finley was, quote, dancing in his face, and that he saw Rodney Finley reaching for his waistband, which he thought was a weapon.
Good morning, Mr. Ruiz.
Now, Ruiz is facing 2 counts of murder, appearing in court for the first time as the online feud that once played out on the screen could head to trial.
You were arrested for 2 counts of open murder with use of a deadly weapon. The court did find probable cause existed for your arrest. You need to hear from the district attorney's office today, and then hear from the public defender.
YouTube streamers were in attendance at Ruiz's hearing. Marquise Wiley telling KLAS the feud between the two content creators was, quote, childish and didn't make any sense. Wiley went on to say that he understands wanting to compete for viewers, but he never thought it would end in violence. And here to break down the story with me is criminal defense attorney Michael Troiano. Michael, thank you so much for coming on today.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here.
Now, this case seems like a collision between internet drama and real-world tragedy. From a legal perspective, though, how do prosecutors start to piece together intent in a case like this?
Well, so far the intent seems pretty clear. Although the media does a great job, they don't always get it right. But when you're self-documenting your own online beef, that kind of makes the detective jobs easy for them, right? So it looks like the victims, the gentleman and his girlfriend or wife, as well as the suspect, were in some sort of online YouTube channel beef for the last year at least. They've been commenting on things related to Vegas and I guess more specifically or relevant to this situation, their internal hatred or dislike for each other.
I want to thank Odoo for sponsoring this news package. Odoo is a powerful all-in-one business software that helps you manage everything from sales to accounting and, yes, inventory. Their inventory dashboard makes it easy to track receipts, deliver orders, POS orders.
Those are words going back and forth on each side. There was video, you're correct, that I watched that was about 24 hours, if that, prior to, where he states his intent that he's actively searching him out to see him in person for some sort of confrontation. In regards to him claiming self-defense, I'm not aware, I haven't been able to see any police reports just yet if he actually spoke to police or gave a statement. From a criminal defense standpoint, that would be a pretty foolish thing to do. You want to invoke your right to remain silent, speak to your attorney so you can keep all options open. But at the end of the day, based on what we've seen so far, it seems very likely that's going to be his only avenue of defense, is to say that, hey, this was an ongoing beef. He was throwing words and threats my way. And when I saw him on the strip, it was commotion, maybe argue that, he threatened him or tried to pull out some sort of weapon on his own, although there is no evidence at this point that weapons were found on him or this other deceased, the female who happened to be in a relationship with that gentleman.
Yes, and we know that according to reports, their beef seems to stem back to some type of copyright issue and just other issues that they had because they were going back and forth on social media reportedly. Could the alleged copyright issue that they were fighting over play a role in motive, or does that just become background noise legally?
It really depends on the defense and or the prosecution strategy. I mean, depending on how serious or petty it is, on which side of the fence you're on, prosecutor or defense, that may be brought in as a highlight and a point of contention, or it might just be white noise and these two engaged in a silly, immature back and forth that led to the death of two individuals.
Right. And it's funny that you use those words, silly and immature, because another YouTuber and streamer spoke to a local station and said that he just found this whole thing to be extremely childish. And now we're dealing with 3 lives essentially gone, 2 that are taken because 2 people are dead, and 1 that will there's a possibility he could spend the rest of his life in jail if he's convicted. If you could just talk about that and just the consequences of this man's actions.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Nevada, we still have the death penalty. So there's an option for the Clark County District Attorney's Office to take this to the death penalty review panel and make that decision. And they make that based on several factors of mitigating and aggravating circumstances. Even if they decline to seek the death penalty, you're looking at murder with a deadly weapon. So you've got 20 years at the bottom of the sentence, which you do each and every single day of that 20 years on the bottom of a violent offense, such as a murder in Nevada, per defendant. So there's 40 years on the bottom right then and there if they run them consecutively. And that's not counting the deadly weapon enhancement as well, that they can tack on numerous years to that. So that's an additional range of 1 to 20 years. So 28 years to life with parole, life without parole, or the death penalty per defendant. And he's about 41 years old is my understanding. And, I'm turning 42 here in a few weeks. And though I hope I have a lot of life to live, I certainly want to be facing the next 20, 30 years, possibly the rest of my life in prison. And it seems like a real possibility based upon that video.
Right. And what exactly would prosecutors have to prove in order to make this a death penalty case?
It's not necessarily proof. They make the determination on their own. So they basically look at, let's talk about mitigating factors. What's his lifestyle? What's his criminal history? Through my research, it looks like his criminal history was fairly minimal. It looks like there was a DUI or two back in California several years ago. So nonviolent criminal history to the best of my knowledge. Standing in the community. He's gainfully employed, assuming he was making money from his YouTube channel. This wasn't a racial or hate crime as far as we could tell at this point. That would be, an aggravating factor if they were targeting them based upon their sexual orientation, race, other factors of that nature. So if I had to bet on it, I would say that they're probably not going to take this to the death penalty, or they're going to take it to the death penalty panel, They will review it, but I believe the ultimate determination will be not to seek the death penalty, but he will still be facing the rest of his life in prison without a doubt.
Well, according to police.
New at 10, a Valley couple was murdered on the Las Vegas Strip, and the entire shooting was live streamed on YouTube. It happened last Sunday night near the Bellagio fountains. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra is joining us in studio after speaking with their children. And Gabby, it was shocking to see this all over social media, and even worse, it appears it stemmed from a social media feud.
Well, that's what Las Vegas Metropolitan Police are telling us. They say the suspect and victim seemingly knew of each other and had previous conflicts over social media leading up to this shooting. And I want to warn you, some of the video we're about to show you may be hard to watch. One in the same.
They were literally soulmates.
Is how Rodney and Tanisha Finley's 4 children described their parents.
They were beautiful. They were beautiful people.
Tanisha,
the life of the party,
always put her family first.
She was loving, she was caring. She was always there for us.
And Rodney made every moment special.
He was just the funny guy that everybody loved, and he made a big impact wherever he went.
The Finleys loved Las Vegas, which became like a second home for the couple, even documenting their travels on YouTube.
This weekend was actually supposed to be a birthday trip for my dad.
But their celebration was cut short by an act of violence. The couple was live streaming on social media near the Bellagio fountain Sunday night when another YouTuber allegedly pulled out a gun and fired several times.
Our officers rendered medical aid to both victims, but their efforts to save those victims' lives were unsuccessful.
Las Vegas Metropolitan Police say 41-year-old Manuel Ruiz initially ran off, but turned himself in the following day. He's facing 2 counts of open murder with a deadly weapon. According to reporting by the NBC affiliate in Las Vegas, Ruiz is being held without bail after allegedly telling detectives he fired in self-defense, believing the couple was armed. But police say no guns were found or seen in the video posted online.
One of the last messages I had from my mom was that she was going to be coming home tomorrow, and that she would see me tomorrow.
The Finleys left a lasting impact on their online community.
He was a legend.
And will leave an even bigger hole in the hearts of their large, loving family.
They were just 2 beautiful people. I just want them to be never forgotten.
A GoFundMe page was created to help this family pay for funeral expenses. We have a link to that on 12news.com. Again,
Liu Kang wins. Fight!
until this incident occurred.